Hey petrolheads, that Austrian car guy here. And today I'm taking you through the rollercoaster ride of shipping spare parts for my beloved Cadillac Seville as a European. From costs to unexpected hurdles, buckle up for the journey. Let's dive in. So you've clicked order, and now what? Today we're talking about the real cost of getting those crucial Seville parts to my doorstep. From initial prices to shipping fees and customs. Get ready for a wallet workout. Customs is, from my perspective, not very predictable. Take my exhaust system for instance. I ordered everything from summitracing.com. New long tube headers, pipes and mufflers. The initial cost was around $398, which equals 349 euros. Adding shipping costs of $177 or 155 euros, the new total was $574 or 504 euros. But then customs kicked in, and brace yourself for these numbers. Customs duties 81 euros, customs clearance 60 euros, handling 25 euros, airport charges 22 euros, making a total of 220 euros or $251. So what was initially $398 or 349 euros turned into a whopping $825 or 724 euros after customs. It would have been even more if I had ordered the parts to my doorstep. In that case, I drove to the Vienna airport myself and picked everything up. All in all, a journey that took 10 days. Not the fastest, but quicker than most. That was by far the most expensive experience so far. But paying 20 to 60 euro every now and then for customs clearance sums up pretty fast too. A recent example is my order of an engine wiring harness. The part cost around $244, shipping $35, VAT $59, duties $17, and hold on to your wrenches, surprise costs upon delivery. I'll have to wait. Also note the difference in pricing systems. VAT is already included in displayed prices in Europe, whereas in the USA it's added separately. As you see, shipping and customs turned that seemingly affordable parts into pricey affairs. A quick side note, getting parts for the Ford Anglia was fairly easy before the Brexit. Sadly, it's a paying customs game here too now. Now let's talk about a shipping mishap I outlined in the recap video of my engine rebuild. You can find the link to that video here or in the info box under the video. It was a wild experience. All parts ended up in the wrong town. Same street, same house number, but a completely different city. When placing orders, I make it a habit to periodically check the shipping status because the anticipation of waiting for my orders is something I simply cannot endure. Particularly with shipments from the USA, customs clearance procedures often take place directly at the airport. Or at least that seems to be the case when the Austrian Postal Service handles these orders. In a specific instance, this indeed was the scenario, causing my orders to be held up at the airport for several days awaiting clearance. Unfortunately, during this period there was absolutely no progress on my order. After enduring a few days of waiting, the parcel eventually resumed its journey. However, much to my dismay, I soon discovered that it was headed to a completely different location, not my designated shipping address. My immediate action was to contact the postal service in an attempt to rectify the situation promptly. To my dismay, the representative informed me that they couldn't intervene at that point, and I had no choice but to wait it out. And wait I did. The parcel eventually returned to the postal service and was sent out again, to the wrong address. It was a huge facepalm moment. Given that the parts were addressed to an unclaimed location and customs fees were required upon parcel receipt, the inevitable outcome was the return of the parts to America. Engaging in a series of communications with Rock Auto, I must commend them for their effective handling of the situation. Subsequently, all the missing parts were promptly sent and received without any complications. What started as a simple mishap evolved into a saga. Remarkably, weeks after receiving the second shipment, some pieces from the original shipment unexpectedly found their way to me, adding an extra layer of peculiarity to the entire situation. Now let's talk ECU. As previously discussed in another video where I detailed the reasons behind transforming my engine from fuel injected to naturally aspirated, find the link in the video's info box, I'm revisiting the subject as promised. Sure, a shiny new one might seem tempting, but is it the best option? Spoiler alert, probably not, at least not in my specific circumstances. As seen in the cost breakdown earlier in this video, you can imagine that you don't want to throw random parts at your car, hoping one might be the correct solution or that a particular component was the culprit. This decision was thoroughly contemplated, leading me to the conclusion that I aim to enhance my car's reliability and eliminate dependency on a motivated ECU dictating the engine's actions. For big parts like the exhaust system, I emphasized the importance of thorough research and consideration. It took me about 2 years searching the internet for some fitment infos for the Cadillac Seville. Taking your time in this quote research phase that you order big expensive parts with confidence, knowing that they'll fit like a glove. Jokes aside, you still hope that they'll fit until the very end. Another thing is the shipping time. Back when I began ordering stuff mostly through rockauto.com, Summit and Checks, the time it took until my orders arrived was much longer than it is nowadays. It also could be possible that I've just gotten used to the whole ordering and shipping process. Returning incorrect parts can be more hassle than ordering anew. The complexity also extends to the core charge, where a refund is provided upon the return of old parts. Personally, I've refrained from returning any parts so far, driven by a certain apprehension of potentially incurring additional costs instead of receiving a monetary refund. While my hesitation may be valid, I recognize the importance of reassessing this stance. After years of steering clear of core charge returns, I'm now dedicated to putting this to the test and sharing my experiences with you in an upcoming video. Consider this your crash course in parts procurement. It's no simple click and wait scenario, especially in Europe with parts from America. It's an adventure, a test of patience and wallet resilience. As funny as it sounds, it's essential to factor in these costs when embarking on a project like this. But I gotta admit that the process of ordering parts with just a few clicks nowadays is as easy as it gets. Back in the old days, the quest for parts must have been considerably more costly and time-consuming for Europeans, assuming it was feasible at all to undertake independently. I'd love to hear some stories from you. Feel free to share them in the comment section. Thanks for joining me on this ride. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share your own shipping chronicles. See you in the next episode of That Austrian Car Guy. May your parts arrive swiftly and your wrenching endeavors be ever victorious. Until next time, drive safe and take care. Tschüss.